Hello, this is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. In today's video, we will be reviewing for the 2022 Texas STAAR Math Test for 6th graders. Our concept is converting fractions, decimals, and percents. Remember, 6th graders, if you are always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Do you need a math or reading tutor? We offer virtual one-on-one and group tutoring for 2nd to 8th grade students. Parents, there's a link in the description box for you to sign up for a free consultation. We have our 6th grade STAAR Math Review Workbook available for purchase in our store. The link is in the description box so that you can grab yours today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, and press the like button so that you will be alerted to new videos we upload, and also spread the word about Hype Math. We greatly appreciate your support. Let's talk about how to convert fractions to decimals. There are 2 ways we will go over. First, if you have a fraction that has a denominator of 10, 100, or 1000, these are the steps you need to take. Step 1, write that number as a whole number, and then step 2, move the decimal point to the left by the number of zeros. Let's start with 8/10. We see that for 8/10, there is 1 0 in the denominator, so we are going to move our decimal 1 place to the left. We have 8 as a whole number, and for whole numbers, the decimal point is right after the whole number. When we move it 1 place to the left, our answer is 0.8. Now, for 8 over 100, we have 2 zeros in the denominator, so we are going to move our decimal 2 places to the left. We again write the whole number 8. Our decimal is right to the right-hand side of the whole number, and when we move the decimal 2 places to the left, we write a 0 so that we can have a placeholder since there's not a number in front of the 8, and our answer is 0.08. Now, if you don't have a 10, 100, or 1000 in the denominator, the next way we can do or divide is dividing by the numerator and the denominator. So in our example, we have convert 5/6 to a decimal, and we're going to round to the hundredths place. Remember, when you're dividing 6th graders, the 6 go outside the house and the numerator goes on the inside of the house. Since 6 cannot go into 5, we need to put a decimal point right after the 5, but make sure you put it on top of the house as well as the example shows, and we're going to add some zeros, okay? So now 6 can go into 50, 8 times 6 times 8 is equal to 48, so now we need to subtract 50 minus 48, that is equal to 2, and we're going to bring down our 0. Now we have 20. 6 can go into 20 3 times. 6 times 3 is 18. 20 minus 18 is equal to 2, and we're going to stop there with 0.83 because we are rounding to the nearest hundredth place. Now, how do we convert decimals to fractions? Easy peasy. Step 1, we're going to underline the last digit of the decimal value and identify its place value. That place value becomes the denominator. Step 2, we are going to remove the decimal from the number, and this will be our numerator. Let's look at some examples just in case Miss Jackson sounded confusing. Okay. We are going to convert 0.4 to a fraction. We said we're going to underline the last digit to identify its place. It's the 10th place, and so 10 will be our denominator. We remove our decimal point. All we have left is 4, and 4 is our numerator, so 4 over 10, or 4/10, is our fraction. Now let's look at how we convert 0.32 to a fraction. We are going to underline the last digit, That is in the hundreds place, so 100 will be our denominator. We're going to drop that decimal, and 32 will become our numerator. Lastly, we're converting 1.69 to a fraction. Now, our whole number is going to stay the same. We are just going to focus on our decimal value. 9 is the last digit, so we're going to underline 9, and that is in the hundreds place, so 100 is my denominator, and 69 will be my numerator. So 1 and 69 hundredths. Now let's talk about how to convert decimals to percents. And this is easy as well. Step 1, we're going to multiply the decimal by 100. Now the hack or the shortcut for that is just moving our decimal 2 places to the right. And I add the percent sign, and yes, that is all you have to do. So let's look at our example. We're going to convert 0.4 to a percent. We said step 1, we're multiplying by 100. Instead of going through that long process, all we need to do is move our decimal point 2 places to the right. That will make it 0.40. It will be just 40. And then we need to add our percent sign. So 40%, 0.4 converted to a percent is 40%. Now let's look at 0.32 and converting it to a percent. Again, step 1, we're multiplying by 100, which means we are going to move our decimal 2 places to the right. Now my number is 32, and I'm going to add that percent sign, and that makes it 32%. So 0.32 converted to a percent is 32%, and that is how easy it can be. Now let's talk about how to convert percents to decimals, and all we do is the reverse. We start with our percent. We're going to drop that percent sign for step 1, and now we're going to divide by 100, which means our shortcut is moving our decimal 2 places to the left, okay? We're going to move our decimal 2 places to the left. So converting 40% to a decimal, I'm going to drop my percent sign, and then I'll have 40. I move my decimal 2 places to the left, and my answer is either 0.40 or 0.4. Next, converting 32% to a decimal. Again, we start with 32%. We're going to drop that percent sign, and now 32 is our number, and we are going to move our decimal 2 places to the left, and that is going to now be 0.32. That is all. Isn't that easy? Now let's dive into some problems. And remember, we have our 6th grade math review workbook available for purchase in our store. The link is in the description box. Number 17 says, a company spent 32% of its annual budget developing a new machine. What fraction of the company's budget was spent developing the new machine? Is it F, 1 over 32, G, 5 over 16, H, 8 over 25, or J, 4 over 125? Now, in order to solve this problem, the first thing that we're going to do is ask ourselves, what are we looking for? We are looking for the fraction of the company's budget that was spent developing the new machine. Now that we know what we're looking for, the next thing we need to ask ourselves is, what information can help find the answer? The information that can help find the answer is we need to first convert our fractions to a decimal, and that is what we've done. Let's look at every single answer choice. For F, we divided 1 over 32, and that is equal to 0.03. For G, 5 over 16, that is equal to 0.31. For H, 8 over 25, and we're dividing it, that is equal to 0.32. And for J, 4 over 125, converted to a decimal, that is 0.03. And remember, and here are the examples of dividing the fraction, sixth graders. Make sure you always put the denominator on the outside of the house and the numerator on the inside of the house. And as you're going through this video, if you need to just stop right quick and look at how it's divided, go ahead and do it just so that you can be solidified in understanding how to divide the fraction. So now that we have this information, how are we going to solve the problem? Well, what we need to do is to convert the decimals to percentages. So remember, in order to convert a decimal to a percent, what we're going to do is multiply 100 by 100 and add a percent. But the hack for that is all we're going to do is move our decimal 2 places to the right and add on our percent sign. So for F, 1 over 32, remember it converted to 0.03. We moved our decimal place 2 places to the right and added our percent sign. That is 3%. For 5 over 16, it converts to 0.31, and we're going to move our decimal 2 places to the right and add on our percent sign. So 5 over 16 is equal to 31%. For H, 8 over 25 is equal to 0.32. Again, we are going to move our decimal point 2 places to the right and add on our percent sign. That's 32%. And lastly, we have J, 4 over 125. That is equal to 0.03. And we're going to move our decimal point 2 places to the right and add on our percent sign. That is 3%. And that is it. Now that we know how to solve the problem, what is the correct answer? Well, all we need to do is look at what we're trying to find, and it's 32%. Can you see the correct answer? If you said H, you're absolutely correct. 8 over 25, we converted it. The decimal was 0.32, and then we have 32%. Great job, sixth graders. Now let's look at number 18. A farmer watered a field, What percentage is equivalent? I don't know what Miss Jackson did wrong. What percentage is equivalent to the fraction of the field? 3/8 is what the farmer watered. A, 24%, B, 37.5 or 37.50%, C, 8.30%, or D, 3.75%. What are we looking for? We are looking for the percentage of the fraction of the field the farmer watered, okay? We are looking for the percentage equivalent to the 3/8 field the farmer watered. Now that we know that, what information can help us find the answer? Now that we know that, what information can help us find the answer? Well, what we need to do is we need to convert first 3/8 to a decimal. And when we divide, remember, sixth graders, the denominator goes on the outside of the house and the 3 on the inside of the house. Since 8 cannot go into 3, we have to add a decimal because we need to add more zeros. When you put that decimal on the inside of the house, make sure you align it on the top of the house as well. And here the example is shown. So once I divide 3/8, my answer in decimal form is 0.375. That is the information we need to know. Once we know that, how are we going to solve the problem? Well, we need to convert our decimal to a percentage, and we already know how to do that. We are going to move our decimal 2 places to the right, and we're going to add our percent sign. So 37.5% is the percentage of 3/8. And what is our correct answer? All we have to do is look at our answer choices to see which one is correct. Is it A, 24%, B, 37.5 or 50%, C, 8.30%, or D, 3.75%. It is B, 37.50%. Now let's go back to our answer, because you might be saying, Miss Jackson, that did not have a 0 on it. It might not have, but it was just the 0 that is in the answer is like a placeholder. 37.5 is the same as 37.50%. We wouldn't have chosen D because look at where the decimal is, okay? It has 3.75%. 37.5 or 37.50% is our correct answer. And that is it, 6th graders. Remember, if you need a tutor, there is a link, parents, in the description box to sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. And we have our 6th grade math review workbook available for purchase in our store. This is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. I will talk to you later.